We saw it from Click's last game. People have done more with less. Oh, never mind. That's not a lot to work with. He has to pull a fish here. Does he get it, Monster? 4, 3, 2. That's not where the fishing hole is. And he's gone. Unfortunately, ADV, he tries to cover himself with the walls, but then tries to also still get the fishing hole. It would have been, honestly, I'd rather that than everything come down to it and you pull out a pistol. And half into the existing round right now. So if you set up in the middle, it's the only place you're guaranteed to not get zoned. That's why you see all these players, the best of the best, are all huddled around those edges, specifically this northern edge. That's where we'd call congested side. So if zone half goes here, you're going to see an instant crank fest where they all try to build up as fast as they can to secure it, or you're going to see a mass migration from this point to get across. If it goes north right now, this end game is going to be ridiculously stacked.
Here's a 3-man fire range, trying to see if they can find some tags. They're 87 damage below. Sniper shot's going to come in return. That means there was an enemy still in that box just behind the cone there. And they're just not going to find their mark. They're not going to find anything. They need to continue to get aggressive. The player count here above that surge threshold. Threats, Chap, and Dukes, the first game that they finally made it out of their draw spot, might just get W keys by Booga, Clicks, and Bizzle. They might have to, right? Honestly. And that would be a sad, sad story for Threats, Dukes, and Chap.
It would be a sad, sad story. Vivid talked about in the pre-show. When you finally get your games out of your drop spot, you have to make them count. If you're contested on spawn, you don't have any games to throw away in the mid-game. You've got to play it perfectly. As we get sights on our second place team, Macwood, Kanata, and Bucky in a nice little base, extended off from everybody else, running against some interesting skin choices. We saw Guff last game. Looks like we've got we got Peely in here as well, wearing the suit, dressed to impress on the big day. We've got the popcorn skin in there. I mean, I'm loving it.
Yeah, these guys are vibing out right now, trying to have a good time, and they're on track, right, to qualify here. Top 10 is all that's needed. That's all that's needed. First place is about as equal to top 10, honestly, in this stage in the game. But again, it's about the bragging rights. It's about feeling comfortable, putting that pressure and dominating down. Here comes some shots in from players trying to tag them, but no. Only one hit, and that's onto Macwood. They get in all the way for free.
Wow.
At the cost of what? 100 material, if not that, and now they get to crank up. They're going to own high ground again for a second game in a row now. That is massive.
That is a missed opportunity by any team like Zypher, Twexy, and Nutter. Any player that was nearer to this one to go for the high ground. We see Jamper, Paper, and Nosh building up for it as well, but a lot of people are going to call luck on that one, or the zone goes down river. But no, that is not luck at all. Kanata, Macwood, and Bucky, that is just their expertise. They saw it. That's why they instantly left the base. There is not a coincidence they set up on the edge of the river, knowing that that was going to just give them a free highway pass straight into the next zone if it pulled opposite.
Yeah, that's all strategy right there coming into play. Well played as well. And again, you think about it, right, like a little bit further. There was no time to wait there. You had to jump the gun before everyone else realized what was happening, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't waste a single beat there on the zone. It popped, and they were gone to the new storm line. Okay, it gets them here. It gets them this far. Jamper, Nosh, and Paper were in high ground before. They were beasted out of the sky by Clicks, Bizzle, and Booga in game number 1. How can they use this advantage again? Because, you know, it's not very often that you see a team with high ground lose it so early the way they did before. And it was just off of the backs of one bad rotate. And it seems like it's happening again. Jamper trying to save himself, and it all just somehow works out. It was messy. It was sloppy. But it was a save nonetheless. And Nosh is already down, though. And Paper seems like he's going to follow suit. There he is. He's gone.
They get pressured out there. What you saw there was Jamper trying to build across. He was trying to connect the high ground, trying to build it onto Knifer, Spade, and Accept. They saw it coming. They didn't panic. They didn't try to build up against it. Wait, this whole thing's getting dropped out. This is all held up by so little. Knifer, Spade, and Accept have realized they're dropping down onto the front side. No, they're going to be able to reinforce and hold it. I was going to say, you could see the supreme confidence and experience and skill of a team like Knifer. They didn't try to build against him. They chose to spray him out, because if they build up, that would have only made it easier for them to anchor. And now they have the front side. They're on the front side on moving zones with 17 teams alive in a beautiful position. They have good materials too, but there it is. Kanata, Macwood, and Bucky were lurking. Kanata goes up for it. He gets held off. He's trying to burst 2 players, and he does. He outbuilds them. Kanata, one of the best build fighters in the game, and unfortunately, Knifer gets bullied off and has to drop down. It's your second place team, my prediction, on the high ground, running the show.
Yeah, once again, and that was an expert job by Kanata going and crank up while his teammates backed up with the firing range. They're making it nice and simple for him. There's no way he's going to get beat in that situation. He put himself in the prime time position to go on and take this high ground. They don't have the medium bullets to go on and sustain this, but with the harpoon in Bucky's hands, they should be able to find themselves a refresher. They just have to be super focused, hyper focused on the loot down below. Pick something up, and if they can get the AR ammo, they are virtually guaranteed a free win again. The last game was sloppy though. Kanata went down way early to cold because he jumped down a little too soon and lost his fights down low. Macwood barely squeezed away the win. Don't forget it. Bucky's gonna give us a bit of a show on high. He's showing off. Wait a second now. Oh my gosh. The flashiness.
We're having a bit of fun with it. Interesting strategy there as well. I mean, this just shows supreme confidence in this team, but some might unfortunately come back to bite him there. Gets knocked out, catches himself with the bounce pad. They have the high ground. They're just showing the lobby, we don't need this. Not only do we not need to qualify today, we'll do it in future weeks if we don't do it today. We don't even need to try for it. We're just that much better than you guys. They're trying to set a statement. It reminds me of the Zayt taking the L in the open. A little bit of a different style, almost a lot more risk, but they still managed to pull it off. They have the high ground, and they're potentially maybe gonna close this one out.
Yeah, Bucky's straight trolling. He's hitting the dance move every opportunity he gets. There he is. He's dancing. All the boys are putting in that good work on the left and rights of him. And now, the more this firing comes in, the more they're keen to jump on down and get active. Macwood hasn't dropped his guard at all, though. He says, Bucky, you can do all the joking around that you want, but I'm here to play. And there, you can see the corn skin pops. That means we are in those final zones right here. We're in these endgame instances. He's ready for all the action.
He's putting out some damage right now. He's putting out the fire. Things are cooking up right now. They've got the high ground. There is fire. They need to watch out, though. They're running low on the builds, and it is Clicks, Booger, and Bizzle come up and take the high ground off them. They were messing around. They were having too much fun, but they said, hey, if you guys don't want to win this entire tournament, sweet, we will. Macwood, Kanata, Bucky fall there. Clicks, your first place team on the high ground. Our first team to break through our triple-digit points. They have pretty much guaranteed qualification with this game now halfway into the tournament. Do you think they can get 2 wins out of 3, Monster?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've seen it happen on OCE. The first place team took 2. These guys are on track to do the same here. 4 elims already, high ground hold. Just enough mass to go and connect through these old builds, and fish once again in Booga's hand. There goes the exchange of hands on the chugged splashes too. So this is all but said and done. Just sign the dotted line at this point. On the low ground though, Young Calc trying to redeem himself for the fall that he took in the last round of Clicks. But Young Calc and crew, I am so surprised to see Furious and Sebi popping off right now. Clicks is gonna fall there. That is Furious bouncing back. He's clapping back for getting clipped in the previous round too. Okay, bit of a rivalry here now.
And they've given all the meds to Booger. Bizzle going to try and do something here. Maybe try to create some pressure. Obviously, Booger being known as the one to drop down, but he has higher white health right now. He has the advantage, and every tick is going to matter. But I don't think they're going to be able to beat this one unless they can come up and find Booger. That's who they need to find. No one else matters. It's Booger who has all the heals to try and heal this one off as Zone closes out. And who's going to be able to do it? Where is Booger in all of this? He's pushed right back into the builds. They are never finding him. Furious is looking. Sebi is looking. They're trying to break into this one. Furious goes down. Sebi surely will follow. He has the splashes, but he doesn't have what Booger has. Booger had the floppers and the splashes. 2, 1, that is it. Clicks, Booger, and Bizzle managed to pick up 2 wins out of 3. And
by far qualified through for the opening segments of the semi. So we'll see how that's all going to play out. Here's the rotate into Mandalorian Sniper. Okay, little upgrade for them to pick up. I do wonder if they're going to try something different now, right? Like, are they going to loosen up a little bit? Maybe go for some battles. Maybe, you know, again, flex out a bit here because they understand that they have the lead. They understand they have a lot of room and buffer to play with. If there's any... Yeah, for sure. Here's Voyo, Rocane, and Simple. They had some really interesting situations unfold before them so far today, but, you know, they're still in the fight here. 31 points so far. Not ideal for them. Not exactly where they want to be, but remember, for top 10... that is all that matters. And for them, top 10 is just there. They're in striking distance of top 10. Up to Bully, Frist, and OSP. And listen, they were taken out in that last round, right? Bully, Frist, and Oss, they did not win their drop spot at Steamy Stacks. I do wonder if they won their drop spot this time around, if we're going to see them make it to endgame. As we see Vix fall in the feed there. Dave's going to hop into a box. They claim another victim. It's onto Suscript this time around. GG's for them. That's another point. One step closer again to securing their top 10.
Oh, he went for the loot there. Went for the legendary tack shotgun, and that little bit of extra greediness, just wanting that extra rarity of shotgun is enough to make them what I think both fall. Miro 100% pays the price for the greediness there. As Reverse and Day now maybe have a chance to pick this one up. That's a lot of hard builds in between, but I think they're going to keep pressuring. They're trying to find the sidelines, trying to find the angles. They might be able to find. They're still behind the stair, and no, Day goes down. I talked about box fighting for your Surge. It's a risky strategy no matter how good you are, and just like that, one wrong misstep, Miro had everything he needed. He just got a little bit greedy. He was like, oh, it's a gold shotgun, and that was the difference.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you think about the person that got the full elim on today, and when you see Miro fall in the feed, they're a trio that's too popular. You know exactly who you're targeting. You know exactly who's left alive there. So you know this is worth targeting. You know this duo's in shambles, or this trio's in shambles and left alone. Versus 2K, there's no way he's going to stay alive. It's just impossible in this instance now. As everyone was firing shots from either which way of the coast here now. And you can see they're going to reveal that loot and claim that loot. On the other side, Aspect, Zunies, and NPen have high ground. Sid, Divine, and Ace are actually under the Storm Surge. That will be a sound indicator for Clicks, Bizzle, and company, who's just right there, right? They can hear what's going on down low. Booga can jump in, and yes, look, Booga's making a move forwards. I do wonder if it's for the zone or for the fight.
I think it might be a bit of zone, but also getting those sight lines down and in. All you need is one tag on a team that then goes down to Storm Surge, and you get the elimination as Bizzle gets a knock onto Sebi. 2 players have to go down for this Storm Surge to then go away. It has to get below that 50-player threshold. There's 19 teams alive right now. NPen, Aspect, and Zuni's not doing too well here today. 19 points, still decent, but not well by their standards on the high ground. But this is their chance to have that big game. All it takes is that 30-point victory royale. They've already got 4 eliminations on the board, so 8 of their points are coming out right now into this one. They've got a lot of potential to do this, but they do have a scary team beneath them. Booga, Clicks, and Bizzle are clearly feeling the high ground pushes. They're enjoying going up and making those big plays for high ground, and yeah, I wonder if they're going to do it again. They're clearly staying close to it. They don't want to drop down onto ultimate low, but it is only half-half. We'll get a gauge of what they want to do once that first rotating zone shows.
Yeah, and not only that, their timing for high ground was impeccable in that last round, right? Like, they timed it beautifully. Yes, the high ground team was messing around, and you can tell that they were letting their guard down, right? Really laxing up on high ground. But for what it's worth, you don't really see teams strike for high ground on zone 8, on zone 7. It's usually done around zone 6, around half in, half out. Those are the times, those are the key opportunities that most teams typically open that textbook and read the rights to grab the height, right? You kind of figure out, that's the formula usually. Hey, zone 6, zone 7, this is where you do it. Anything beyond that, it's an unorthodox play. It takes timing because there's so much risk involved.
Yeah, you can't just shockwave up and take it anymore. You've really got to be conscientious of how you take it, when you take it, and can you hold it. Quite often you'll see a good team go for high ground, but they played at the wrong time, they played in the wrong way, they use all their material getting it, and then once they have it, it doesn't have the same potency. You need to be able to hold it till that very last zone. There's no point getting it before that. It's actually usually easy to get eliminations on the mid and low ground while being riskier if you play it well. High ground is all about the wins. It's all about securing those win points. So if you take it and you don't have the mats or the meds to potentially go to a heal off, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, they're gonna go ahead and maintain the high ground, so they go with a full-on tarp out. You can see Aspect's loot already digging into it. It's really biting into it. They're going to waste all of their hard material to go in and maintain this one. Aspect down to his final instance of wood here. Just a couple builds as well. No harpoon on his loadout. I do wonder if they can find this refresher. There's not a single player looking to come up either. Plenty of space between him and all the other layers here. NPen on the other side, frying players out the sky right now. That's some serious pressure going in. Snake still up. The French-Canadian Trick still up, lighting up the feeds there as well. We talked about that console team coming on over. Still popping off here on the big stage today in the qualifying rounds. I see Clicks alive right now making their rotates. It's a Storm Surge zone. This is looking like very NAE East-esque rotates here for the FNCS stage.
Storm Surge on rotating zones has to be one of the most difficult things to deal with, and that was what was kind of tripping up Booga, Clicks, and Bizzle in the weeks preceding this. Really struggling with their Storm Surge, and I have not seen them get hit once today with it. As Zypher, Twexy, and Nut trying to push up, they're on pace to qualify. Another fantastic game here would pretty much almost guarantee it. I see Ronaldo and Blake in the feed, a team that's been a little bit quiet today at a new drop spot, seeing what they can do, but Zypher's got a great spot on this edge of zone. They can leave all those left walls open, knowing that no one's out on that side, saving what little material they probably have, as Blake goes down onto low ground, the bottom of your screen, trying to make a move in onto Bumboy, and then Calc, Sebi, and Furious. You called them the misfits. Calc trying to come through and do something big, finds the angle, but I don't think the blue tack shot was enough to do it here. He's by himself, playing solo with only 4 builds. Clicks did it to him. Can he do it to somebody else?
Yeah, definitely. He's got everything that he needs to do it. Here it is. He's going to find 1 and 2. The shots are good. It's off to Okiss, and that's a full finish as well. The Siphon's going to keep him in the game, but it's not enough to maintain here. The upgrade was quick, but it was not enough. He gets taken out there. Saw Bully as well, making it all the way through, so it seems like Bully makes himself to another end game, and he is also by himself. Here's Twexy and Nut. Zypha already down here, bleeding out on the front side of the zone. They're trying to see if they can go on ahead and play for his potential Siphon loot that's going to fall, but no. Boxed up here. Twexy gets caught out. Oh my gosh. The quick connects from Nut and Twexy.
Yeah, Twexy closed that one off. This is Nut and Twexy, a duo that's been playing together for such a long time, since World Cup days. So they have the chemistry they need right now. They're in the duo endgame. Zypher's got them to this point. What can they do now? But unfortunately, I see Clicks, Booger, and Fizzle, our first place team, on their heels, pushing through the boxes. They're low on match. Twexy's on the low ground, trying to make something of this. 44 tag, good damage. He's having to jump up a little bit. Similar to when we saw Clicks in the situation, has no builds. He gets another one there. He goes down to 6 health. He can't find anything. Bizzle goes down to Aspect. Who's going to be able to come out on top right now? It is Zuni's, Aspect, and Npen versus one more team. They take down Knifer, who's been playing incredibly consistently today, and that is it. The full trio win.
Yeah, and you know, moving on, let's see in our top 5 right now of Clicks, Booga, and Bizzle. As we've already mentioned over and over, they have 2 victory royales that are 152 points. Zypha, Nut, and Tuxie in second are, you know, I think they would need to basically win the next 2 games to close that gap, and Clicks, Booga, and Bizzle would have to almost get 0 points, be eliminated off spawn, which